Buddhi Jukshing Meto Jung Rira Shing in Degem Badi Sangye Shing Du Mikte Uargi Drokun Namda Shing La Chupar Sho Idam Guru Ratna Mangala Kamnirtayami Sangye Chidam Sagi Chonam La Changshu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuchi Dagi Chinyen Gipe Sanamki Chola Benchir Sangye Drupar Sho Chidam Tsoki Choknam La Changshu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuchi Dagi Chinyen Gipe Sanamki Chola Benchir Sangye Drupar Sho Sangye Chidam Tsoki Choknam La Changshu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuchi Dagi Chinyen Gipe Sanamki Drola Benchir Sangye Drupar Sho.
Okay, cool. All right. Sumba. So again, I would space this out and I would put a $sign here, which means later I want to put a header here. It's a note to myself. Sumba chewa sosong munzin la ngale. Sumba means third point. Chewa sosong munzin. So munzin is an important verb in Tibetan. Zin means to hold. Mu means the face of something, like the face of a wall is called a mu. So this is the face of the TV. This is the mu of the TV. So mun zin means to take the face, and it means to recognize something. Or to identify. So here it's identified. Okay. So it's an idiom, and you'll get stuck if you break it up, you'll get stuck. So mun zin means let's identify the division of each of the sets of vowels. Let's identify the components of each of the sets of vowels. And we're going to do that in 5 steps. Okay, we have 5 different sections on identifying the components of each of the sets of vowels. Okay. So Dumbo, he's going to treat nye ne vowel. Nye ne vowel. What's nye ne?
One day.
Yeah, one day vowel. Kidombani, that kind of vowel. And then I want you to block out in bold letters the root text, okay? Tsawashi dan yenlakshi, gyepon yene dombao. Say tsawashi, dan, yenlakshi, gyepon, yene dombao. Okay. She sungte means the components of the first set of vowels are expressed in this 2 lines. So that's the whole meaning of Shesung, okay? In these lines is expressed that subject of the components of the first vowel. So Bangja means things you have to give up. Things to be given up. Things you have to give up. It's Tsawashi, the basic 4. The basic 4. And then the, what are you going to call Yenla? Secondary. What did I just say?
Secondary.
Yeah, okay. Primary and secondary. Primary 4, secondary 4. Tsawashi is kind of a idiom in the study of Buddhist ethics. It's the 4 that are common to everything. It's the first 4 of the 10. Okay, it's the 3 physical ones and 1 verbal one. These are common to all Buddhist ethics. Okay, so they're called the Tsawashi. Gyepong, giving up these 8, means the primary 4 and the secondary 4. And Nunga ki lan dope raptu chewe. It is distinguished by larn dopa means, and by the way, there's a prenasal on LD. Okay, LD is a prenasal always. Dok, larn dok, say larn dok. ZL is also a prenasal, and sometimes this is spelled with a ZLOG. Larn dok. Larn dok means turn away from, avoid. Okay, you can say avoid. Lar means retro in Tibetan. Go back. Okay, Sometimes it can mean repeat also. So larn dok means turn back. Lar chin means I came back, I forgot my keys. Okay. Okay, so larn dope raptu chewa, distinguished. This first set of vows is distinguished by avoiding the famous actions of body and speech, which are the 8. Okay, it's distinguished by having 8 things you give up. Okay, 8 things you avoid. Okay, and it is a nyingshak chiki tachen. What's that mean?
1 day?
Yeah, good. It's a vow that ends in 24 hours. You know, literally, it has a limit of a single 24-hour day. Okay, Nyingshakitachen. So these are all Vinaya terms, and you know, my hope, one of my hopes from this class, is that we produce a dictionary that has all these different kinds of unique languages. Vinaya language is different from logic language, as you saw this morning. Madhyamika language is different from Abhidharma. Abhidharma has a whole language of its own. There's really 5 different languages here. And a person who knows one may not know another. So Vinaya has its own language. That's what a one-day vow is. Now, do you want to know what the 8 are, he says? Pangxia Gepo, if we take those 8 things that you are supposed to not do, give up doing, of those, of those 8, let's show you, Dumba, we will show you the root 4, the foundation 4. First, the root text, poem, goes to the foundation 4. And they are, say, Mitsangche, Dang, Majin Len, Sokche, Zundu Mawanam. It's interesting in the order he put them is not the traditional order. And I wonder if there's a reason, and you can think about it. But he doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes 3, 1.
3, 2, 1, 4.
Yeah, no, 3.
3, 2.
No, he goes 3, 4.
Oh, Majin Len.
3, 4, 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. He goes 3, 2, 1, 4. Maybe there's a reason. You should write a commentary. You will write a commentary when you get older. Okay, so me time. You heard it. Tsang means pure or clean. Pure or clean. Tse means to act in a certain way. Mi means not. Not clean behavior means sexual misconduct. It's a word for sexual misconduct. A good translation is just sexual misconduct. Okay, number 3. So he starts with number 3. Then he goes to Majin Len means stealing, but the parts are cool. Who can explain it?
Not given, taken.
Yeah, taking what is not given. Yeah, taking what is not given. It's the Buddhist word for stealing. Okay, it's funny. I remember this word because I was walking with a great Tibetan scholar, and I picked a flower off a tree at the side of the road, and he said, "That you just lenba something that was not jimba to you." You didn't own that tree. Somebody else owns that tree. You took what was not given. And I'm like, I just took a flower off the tree. It was a little flower. You know.
Not even a
With
wood.
you.
But he's over here, huh?
I said I'm with you.
He's, I don't know. If you're a house owner and someone picks a flower, you get pretty irritated. Okay. Sokje, somebody tell me literally.
Cutting life.
Cut life. Chu means to cut, like Dorji Chupa, diamond cutter, Chedika.
Oh.
Yeah. So cutting life. And Zundumawa means lying, to speak a lie. Okay, Zundumawa no. These are the Tawashi. Okay, Ian. Now he's gonna get very graphic about sexual misconduct. I'm sorry, I'm just translating. But he's gonna describe it in detail. So we're gonna embarrass Allison immensely. So here we go. I apologize, it's not my text. Dewa means pleasure. Nyong means to experience. De means because. Because you want to experience pleasure. Ki. Kune lang. This lang refers to kun long.
A motivation.
Yeah, he has broken out the word for motivation. Motivated by. So instead of calling it kun long, he calls it kunte lang, which means driven by this motivation. Okay. Driven by a motivation that you want to experience pleasure, okay? Driven by that motivation, kunen lang. There's a mistake in the text here. I'm curious if it's in the scan or not. It's probably in the scan, but it's still a mistake. And I confirmed it from another reading, okay? It should be genitive and not instrumental. It's apostrophe S, of yourself or other, okay? Of yourself or other. It's not by yourself or other, okay? Because if someone else did it, it wouldn't be a bad deed for you. It can't be instrumental here. It's yourselves or others, mawe, my gosum. This is this word's a little hot. Ma means a wound. When you cut yourself and there's an open, wet thing. Okay, you see where we're going? It means an open, wet thing. Like normally, it's a wound in your body when you cut yourself. There's an open wound, So it's a Vinaya term, open, wet place. Go means opening, the wet openings. Okay. But it's meant to be derogatory. Right. It's meant to be dirty. Like who would touch this thing? It's like an open wound, so you're gonna have to translate it very sensitively, or put a footnote or something, because the implication is it's dirty like an open wound, like you're in a car accident, or some shark just bit you, and there's this ugly. It's meant, Vinaya is meant to be, this stuff is all ugly, sex is ugly, okay. So it's meant to give that feeling of, okay. So I went and got the 3 doors for you because he doesn't say what they are. And I went to this text. This guy, okay? Next, after I'm gone, you should translate this guy's Vinaya text. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. He's a wonderful scholar. And we discovered him. I discovered him. Don't call me. I discovered him about the same time as Jeffrey Hopkins wrote an article about him. And we both discovered him at the same time. He's amazing. He's a great Vinaya writer. And I think he's written some Majjhimika also. But if you're ever, 30 years from now, you want something to do, look up this guy and translate him, because he's brilliant. He's just brilliant. Says Pension Lodru Lexan. He's not a Pension Lama, he's just called Pension. Okay, and we don't know much about him, but his works speak for themselves. Anyway.
Was he recent?
I can't tell you. I believe 1500s, I'm guessing. I don't know. Someone's probably figured out his dates, but I haven't. I don't remember. We we could go to the lineage lama lists and put in between two people whose dates we know. That's how you date somebody. And then you say floret.
Right.
You say, he lived about this time. He was active about this time. Okay, here's the list of the gosum. I apologize for it. Mouth, and the woman's drippy place. Okay, moist sakche. Sakpa means dirty dripping thing. Okay, in Abhidharma, it's a very important word, which means impure karma. Sakche. So sakpa, but sakpa is related to zak, and zak means to drip or to ooze. It's the oozing place. Ooze means comes out slowly, some wet stuff. Okay, so sakche means the dripper, the lady's dripper place. Or shanglam, shang is the polite word for poo-poo. So shanglam means anus or something. Okay, anal. Yeah, it's the poop path. Poop path. So if we'll put a footnote and it'll embarrass you to write it, and you'll be embarrassed for the rest of your life. They'll call you the lady who identified the 3 doors. So it can be the mouth, or the vagina, or the anus. Okay, any one of these 3 openings. Okay, gosum kangrung. Kangrung means any of the 3 openings. Rangniki means it has to be by you. What's the implication? Can you guess? This has to be done by you.
You can't tell someone else.
Yeah, if you pay someone else, you have sex with him, you don't commit this.
Right.
Okay, it has to be yourself. In this case, in this vow, in the one-day vow, Rangi means it has to be committed by you. You cannot commission someone else. You don't break the vow if you commission someone else. You probably break some other vow. But Vinaya is like that. Vinaya is very, was it Talmud or?
Talmudic.
It's very Talmudic. Talmud is the Jewish books on ethics, and they're like this books. We're on a Friday, if you at 6 o'clock, if you like this. Okay. So anyway, kind of Rangniki has to be by you. Norbu Chuk means. Norbu here means sexual organ of a male. It's called the jewel. It's like Om Mani Padme Hum.
Slightly sexist text.
The jewel in the window.
No. It refers to the shape, okay? Chuk means to stick it in. Insert, yeah. Chuk means to insert. Okay. And here's an interesting thing. There's a big discussion in Vinaya as where's the point at which you break the vow? Is it when you start to insert it? Is it when it is inserted? And it's when, because of that insertion, you experience pleasure. Then you broke the vow. So I guess if you don't experience pleasure, you didn't break the vow. No, then we say you broke it halfway or something. You don't get the full karma. Okay. If you seek pleasure and you do this insertion, then you have broken the vow. And you get a certain feeling out of it, then you've broken the vow.
Wow.
Because the point of the one-day vow is to sort of pratyahara. It's to withdraw from the pleasures of the world for a day. Give yourself a break from the pleasures of the world. It's a very Hinayana type of thing, like withdraw from all this what do you call that?
Sense stimulation.
Stimulation. Withdraw from all the stimulation of the world, and you can put your mind at peace, and you can meditate better. So the idea is you just, for one day, for 24 hours, food, sex, gossip, lying, you withdraw. That's the point. Okay. Nyamsun Yongwa means when you experience pleasure, that's mitsangcha. That's sexual misconduct in the context of the first set of vows, because it's different in the context of monks' vows, it's different in the context of layman's vows. So sexual misconduct is different things in different sets of vows. In this set of vows, it's to, and by the way, then this gets weird. It could be your opening.
Yeah.
So you figure that out. Okay.
Oh, right. Well, Ninja people were yogis.
Yeah, I think the only way is you could do it anyway.
Very flexible.
No, but this, you see, this Rangshen means your mouth or others' mouth, your anus or others' anus, your vagina or others' vagina. You see,
Right.
so that's tricky, and it's not instrumental. Okay, it's possessive of you, of your own or of another person. So if somehow you could have some kind of sex with your own mouth, with your own body, insert your own part of your body into your own mouth, that's the only one I can imagine. But okay, let's move on now that Allison's all red. By the way, I confirmed that because I just wanted to make sure it was either of your own or somebody else's. I went and found in a Choni Lama text. He right here, Rangshen Ki. Okay, he uses the possessive. So I went and confirmed it. And that's the kind of thing I do, and nobody appreciates it. I just want you to appreciate me. Yeah, but I go and make sure so that people know it's for yogis or something. Okay. Okay, now we're past the embarrassing part. Shopping.
For this set of vows.
You can look up now. Now the definition of stealing for a one-day vow. Okay, for a one-day vow, which is not the definition of stealing for other vows. You see that it's something about Vinaya. Okay. Zay top de, you want to get something. This zay means stuff. Stuff. Yeah. You want to get something. It just means something. Okay. Something. Top means get. De means you want. Ki, kune lang means motivated by this desire. Motivated by the desire to acquire an object. Let's say object. Motivated by a desire to acquire an object. It's poetry. You take an object. Okay, ze. It's an object which is shenki daktusuma, which another person has ownership of. Which another person has ownership of. Okay, which another person has ownership of. And here's an interesting, what do you call that? Modifier, or there's a word like that.
Ring?
Qualifier.
Oh, qualifier.
An interesting qualifier. It must be rintan lomba. Rintang means value or cost. Rintang means value or cost. Longba means sufficient.
Okay.
So in Vinaya, there's like it's karshapanas. It's a currency that was used 2,500 years ago. It's like Hong Kong dollar. And they say 5 karshapanas or something. And I worked it out with Rinpoche one day as the value of a good, inexpensive sweater. So we decided $9 or something like that. So say $10, 10 US dollars. You see, whatever you put is going to be wrong in 100 years. You know.
Actually, you did that calculation how many years ago?
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah.
That was back when $1 was $1. Anyway, it means a pen doesn't count. Okay, if you walk out of a government office with their pen on the day that you took a one-day vow, you don't break the vow. It's not valuable enough. You see, it's not of sufficient value. So longba means sufficient value. Okay, here, kupa means steal. Ku means steal. Okay, there's a difference between kupa and trokpa. Tropa means to take away without permission. Is there a difference? Steal and what's the word in English? You can say rob. Chokpa implies more violence. Kupa can be in secret. Okay, so maybe you can make the distinction this way. But how do we use a single English word?
Well, it's like,
Rob or steal or rob?
yeah, rob is
Rob is
aggressive.
always,
Yeah.
on the street, you hold a gun to somebody.
Okay.
Steal can be quietly, you take it out of somebody's backpack.
So,
or something.
steal
The
is
first one here, Kupa, is steal. And the second one, Tropa, is rob. Yeah. Tok means like this, okay? Kuba can be like this. Kuba's like this. Tropa's like this. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Uh,
in the parlance of Tolkien.
Now he gives another option. Gukpa. Okay, Gukpa. It's not Kukpa, okay? Gukpa is a word that's often used in tantric visualizations. You Gukpa the wisdom beings.
Hope them in. Hope
Yeah, you, what do you call that?
reel them in.
You,
Invoke.
yeah, but it means with a hook.
Beckon them.
Gukpa means you hook them and then you, like a fish, you bring them in.
Lure them.
Gukpa means this.
In back?
Mm.
snare is a good
Well, let me get to the whole sentence and you decide. It means to bring it in, reel it in. Okay, to cause it to come to you. With Zengak, and Zengak means mantras, or Ze means secret powders that magicians throw in the eyes of the audience. In ancient India, it's like a cocaine powder or something. You go like, and everybody smells it, and then they start to see things. It's a famous magic trick word. So this is tantra. The original meaning of tantra, the ancient meaning of tantra, is magic. You use mantras were used to deceive people, and then you empty their pocket, stuff like that. It didn't mean holy things. It used to be like just magic tricks of Indians. You see it in Indian village now. These guys come into town and they're like boo 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 boo, and it's weird. They have weird powers. So anyway, Zengak means either you use magic substance or you use magic words. Okay, Ze means substance. Magic. Here it means tantric Ze, meaning magicians Ze, magicians potions or powders. And then Ngak means they're magic incantations. Okay, something like that. And due to that power, Nupe, you Gukpa things. It means kind of like that, but you bring them to you. Draw them to you. Draw them to you. Draw them to you with magic powders or magic words. Okay. Okay. Did you just do it to me? Check your pockets. Check your pockets. This is how Phil's going to pay his rent today. Okay. Etc. Tap Kang Yang Rung means however you do it. He just means there's a lot of options. If you're the government, you just have a tax. And you rob people this way. Some will rob you with a 6-gun and some with a fountain pen. That's an old song. Some people steal it with a gun, some people use a pen on a contract, in a bank. Okay, Gone, Zede. If you make that object tawa from the paropo person,
and make it come to take it, tear it away from.
if you separate it from the other person. So here's paro, which like bolo mido, go to the other side.
Person over there.
Here it means the other person, because you added po. The other sider, meaning the other person. Dung del, this dung means from. steal it from them, separate it from them. Che means if you separate it from them. And now here's an interesting qualifier. Okay? You must have a toblo.
Happy.
Yeah, you must think, I got it. It's mine. Top means to attain. Lo means mental. Where in the classic example of taking a vow do you have toblo?
Well, after you take it.
Oh,
What's the word?
oh, very well. Like so.
Yeah, tabieno.
Oh, yeah.
Tabieno.
Tabieno.
Have you received it?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like so. Like so is toblo. You know, the lama, you do this vow and then the lama says, tabieno, did you get the vow? And they go, like so. I got it. Then that's toblo. At that moment you have, I got it. It's the idea, when the sound in your head says, I got it, that's called toblo. It's a very beautiful word in Buddhism. It means the awareness of having acquired it, or something like that. The state of mind that this is now mine. Okay? And usually it's a good thing, but here it's a bad thing. Okay? I put a kind of coffee meditation, this is my own notes to myself. It's really, coffee meditation is toblo. You know, and it's a good thing. It speeds up the karma. If you have toblo about good things, you know, I got it. It's mine. I did a good deed. I gave the $100.
Here, toblo means do you have the awareness that you get something which you used to not get.
In your mind comes this word, I got it. It's mine. Then you break the vow. You see, it's not when you steal. It's not when you get it. It's when you think, now it's mine. Now I got it.
So it's more than
Okay.
awareness.
It could be an hour later.
Oh.
You see, that's an interesting thing in Buddhist morality. You see, you haven't really broken the vow until you're at home and you pull the money out again and you look at it and you say, now it's mine. Then you break the vow. Then the vow is broken completely. Okay.
So is the difference between toblo and tartu just that?
Yeah, it's it's almost the same thing. Normally toblo is I have a vow. Now I have a vow. And that nails the vow down. That's boom, you got the vow. Okay? Kempa means when that thought comes up in your mind, when it is born in your mind, has been born, then you broke the vow. That's interesting. So there has to be a certain value. With the sexual one, you have to have a sensation.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the sensation, you broke the vow. You see, it's interesting. There's a tam. It's called a tam. There's a point at which you break the vow. You feel a sensation, or you think this is mine. It's very interesting. Buddhist morality is really sexy. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go into killing. And it'd be really interesting if your Tibetan was really good to go through some commentaries and see why he put them out of order. Maybe there was more problems with sexual misconduct among the monks that he was teaching at that time. I don't know. Possible. Sokjud, with a kune lang means motivated by a desire to kill. Motivated by a desire to kill. Okay. And this is interesting because in the Tsawashi, it must be a human.
Yeah.
Okay, in the basic four, it must be a human. Okay, and you notice sexual misconduct for a one-day vow is sex mostly between people, and then for other purposes, it could be other kinds of sexual behavior. So the main thing not allowed for a one-day vow is sex between people. But there's a lot of other kinds of sexual behavior that monks and nuns are not allowed to engage in. Okay.
These apply to lay people as well, right?
Huh?
These apply to lay people as well. The 24.
Oh yeah, this vow could be taken by monks or nuns. I'm sorry, by lay people or ordained people,
Right.
equally.
Why
Yeah.
would we take one day now?
I don't know, because Trija Rinpoche
It's
did.
because it's a different motivation. That's what they say. It's a bodhisattva motivation rather
Oh,
than
Let's
Hinayana
let's look at it.
Yeah.
I believe it can be taken by both. Maybe I'm wrong, but Rinpoche used to take it with us.
One day vows? Yeah, because it's a different motivation.
It's in course.
And it was very popular with Teacher Rinpoche. He did it a
Yeah.
lot. Anyway, just based on that, I think it's both, but we could look it up.
Anyway, so you get points.
Okay, you get extra points.
No, you get extra points.
Motivated by a desire to kill, the object must be a being who is a human. Mean draw. That's that adjectival clause agikui.
Okay.
Yeah, a living thing which is a human, a living being who is a human, an actual human, nge, or tana means at the very least a fetus.
You need to a human being.
Okay, ngel means womb. Nekap means who is still in the womb at that period. Okay. So people ask me about abortion. Here's your answer. Okay. Any fetus, at any point after conception, single cell to single cell, it's a person according to Buddhism. Okay. It's not 3 weeks or 8 months or So this nge means who's came out of the womb already. See, an actual person. Actual person. And then somebody who is in the period in the womb, meaning a fetus. Okay. In the vow, you say mi am mir chakpa. Mi am mir chakpa. Mi means human. Am means or. Mir chakpa means developing into a human. You see what I mean? Okay.
So this would be, again, it's like the order of it. Would this be a human who is an actual person, or in?
Well, I leave the ngu up to you. I mean, in English, we might say a full person, or fully developed person, or a person outside of the womb, or something like that. It doesn't imply that the person. It wouldn't be part of the vow if the fetus wasn't a person. You see, what I mean, that's not what the ngu means here. The fetus is a real person.
Is the human.
You mean
And then we've
the
got
person
two
who commits it?
types. The two types of humans are the ones who are walking around. And
Yeah,
others
that's
who-
all. That's a distinction. That's all he means to say. That he doesn't mean to imply that a fetus is not a real person or something like that. Okay,
It's
make
almost
up.
like a functional human,
Yeah, maybe you decide.
Say
Function.
Make up, or maybe it's just that you can directly kill them more easily when they're outside. Then you have to dig around to
that's
kill them.
interesting,
You see, it could be the action has to be there. I don't know. Make up. Kyangrung doesn't matter either one. So kyangrung means either one.
Both suitable.
De dan de sowang gak.
Stop.
Either the one or the other. See? De dan de. Either the one or the others. Sokwang means the power of life. Life power. Which in English we just say their life. Take their life. In Tibetan, in Buddhism, especially in the Abhidharma, in the second chapter, which is devoted to the powers, you call it the power of life. You gawk it. You stop the power of life within either one. Okay? Within either one. Meaning, de dan de means a human outside the womb or a human inside the womb. Okay? Gakbe. Tab kayang rung means doesn't matter what means you use. It could be a gun, it could be a knife, it could be poison, it could be choking, it could be going to the doctor and having an abortion. It doesn't matter what method you use. Tab kayang rung, any method used to stop that life. Gone means by using any method. Kayang rung means anyone at all, any method at all. Gone, through that. Now, here's again one of those qualifiers which is very interesting morally, in moral questions, okay? Rangi ngarol tu, before you die, kaza de shi, that person has died.
Right.
So you injure somebody and then you die, you don't get the full karma. And then they die after you. Like if in a war, in a battle in a war, and you both stab each other,
die
And
first.
if they die first, you committed murder. But if you die first and then they die, it's not the full karma.
Well, you don't break the vow because you lose the vow when you die anyway.
That's a good point. So if he dies after I can see the lines on my hand. Here it's if he dies after I see the lines on my hand.
Alright.
I didn't break this vow.
Oh, this is only one
Still
day.
a jerk.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's all good. I'm sure you want to put all those points in your footnote. Okay.
Do we need to get
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's interesting that they thought about these things. You see, they have to die before you, and you have to have done it. You see, chepa. Okay, you made them chepa. You made them die before you died. That's the breaking the one-day vow of killing. Okay, got it? Okay. This is kind of interesting. I mean, Buddhist literature is cool, I have to say. It's the only thing I want to read, actually. I mean, except for science fiction. Okay, Zun Ma Du Kune Langte, motivated by a desire to lie. Why do they always start like that?
Because you could say, make a mistake or something.
Yeah, accidents.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not accidents, and it's not a slip. Like you're trying to tell somebody how much money they owe you, and you accidentally say 199 instead of 200, and then that you don't break the vow if it's accidental. Okay. Yeah, it depends on motive. You have to want to lie. You have to consider it and then decide to lie. Okay, out of a motivation of wanting to lie. Now I'm going to go to Matop, okay? Matop. You have not attained, okay? Tingenzin, a level of meditation, okay? We call it concentration realm and formless realm. Concentration level, I call it concentration level, Samten, and Sugme means formless realm. What it means is, if you do certain kinds of deep meditation in the desire realm, which is where we live, then after you die, you will be born in the form or the formless realm. So, but those have to be super deep meditations. We don't consider them desirable. We consider them a distraction, but they are a platform. And in fact, to see emptiness directly, you have to reach the platform of the first concentration level, okay? Or you can't see emptiness directly. So your mind has to be as if it were in the form realm already. Okay, so the karma of deep meditations in this life is to be born in the form realm or the formless realm. Here they call it formless realm, but they call the form realm by a nickname, which is concentration realm. Okay, because it takes concentration to be born there. But unfortunately, they give the cause name to the result. So it has confused many generations of people. So Samten, concentration level, means where you're born, if you have concentration. Okay, got it? Okay, it could have been, he could have put Sukham here, but he put Samten. Okay. So again, the 4 levels of the form realm are called concentration levels, because to get there you have to have concentration. They're not concentration after you get there. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, if you claim to have reached those deep meditations and you have not, you have broken a lie in the basic form must be a spiritual lie. Okay, a lie in the basic form must be a lie about your attainments, because that's the most serious kind of lie there is. That's the worst kind of lie there is. And so if you say, I've reached those meditation levels where if I die tomorrow, I'll be born in the form realm or the formless realm, but you have not. Matop Shindu. Matop Shindu. Shindu is a beautiful word that you should all learn. It's the present active participle
Oh. What does that mean?
in the act of doing.
Doing.
In the act of doing. Like dro shindu means he is in the act of going. It doesn't mean starting out or it doesn't mean arriving. It means in the act of going. Present participle. ING in English. Shindu is ING in English. Okay, and don't get confused because it can also mean similar to. So 90% of the time, it means similar to. 10% of the time, it's the present participle, ING in English.
Yeah.
Walking, talking, eating. Okay, so, I'm sorry?
Yeah,
It's a gerund.
gerund.
No, it's not the same as a gerund. Gerund is a noun created from a verb.
Oh yeah. The
His
active form.
lying is bothering me.
Oh.
That's a different thing.
Oh.
And you use the possessive with it. That's a sign, actually.
Okay.
His lying is bothering me. Okay, anyway.
So shindu is like presently.
So, yeah, it means even while you have not.
Okay.
Okay, even as you have not attained them, you claim to have attained them. So matop shindu means even while it's true that you have not, you claim that you have. Okay, even as you have not, you say that you have. Now there's another example here. Well, actually two. There's three total examples. Meditation deep enough to get you reborn in the formless realm is the first claim, first false claim. Second false claim, I have munshe, I have miracle power, I have clairvoyance. Clairvoyance means I can read your mind, I can see the future. Okay, clairvoyance, there's 5 types of munshe. Don't ask me what the daughter. Okay, abhijna. And then Zutru means miracle powers. Fly in the sky, you know. He's giving 3 examples here. Deep meditation that you haven't reached, that if you had reached it, it would make you born in the form or formless realm after you die. Reading other people's minds, seeing the future. We call clairvoyance in English. And then third is miracle powers. Like I can cure people with my hands or stuff like that.
But the second one, you
What's
don't
that?
call it miracle power? Like you read other people's mind, you don't call it miracle power?
No.
Oh.
This one is munshe is reading other people's minds
Oh.
and being able to see the future or the past. I can see your past life. That's munshe. Now, maybe those are kind of miracles, but we divide them. Miracle means like physical things. You can fly in the sky. You can heal people with your hands. You can walk through solid earth. You can walk through walls. Yeah.
Do you want?
So if somebody
If you
thinks
want.
they can do that, and then they tell somebody that they can do it, is that
Well, what it means is for a Buddhist to claim that they can see another person's future life or their past life, for them to claim that they have talked with angels, for them to claim a lot of things that people do claim. In Buddhism, that's the most serious lie you can commit. It's much worse than lying about other things, okay? Because we have to keep an integrity in Buddhism, especially as a teacher, about what you claim, because you can mislead people and they cannot confirm what you're saying. They have to take it on trust. I can heal you. Then they have to take it on trust. I can see your future life. Then they can't confirm whether you're lying or not. So that becomes a more serious lie, because they can't tell if you're lying or not. You see what I mean? So it's interesting. And you see a lot of people do. You see a lot of lamas say things like that. You know, I think it's important to say, look, as I've said to you many times, I don't know. I really don't know. I cannot see the future, but I feel like maybe this is going to happen. You see, I think that's honest. You know, I think it's important to start out with, I don't know. I can't see it, but I have a sense that maybe this happened. You know, so I think you got to be careful as a Buddhist to say, I don't have that power, but I feel like this could be the case, you know. Okay? Because they can't confirm if you're lying or not. There's no way. You know, where did your mother go? Look, I don't know, but I feel like she might have gone. That's okay. Okay. We got time?
4 minutes.
Okay, let's see.
The A in Zintumawa should be bolded.
Where are we?
In the paragraph you're entering now, Zintumawa, that's
Oh,
bolded.
you're
just
right.
the A.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to bold that. Okay. Okay, now there's one more example of a lie. Ha la sope doa shen. Other types of beings, like devas. I call them pleasure beings. I don't know, but angels or whatever. Okay, people who live in the God realms. Samsara beings who live in the God realms. By the way, this could also be tantric deities. It could be Buddhas. You know, it could be like Yamantaka or Vajrayogini or something like that. Shen, other types of beings like pretas. Okay, ghosts. Okay, Matong Shindu. Somebody tell me the Shindu.
That you're not seeing.
Similar.
Yeah, even as you haven't seen them, you say I tong.
I do.
Tong wa kelem.
You say.
You say that.
Oh, you accept it with your
Yeah,
mouth.
you agree. You accept. You assert.
Sir.
I saw them. And this is very common. You know, people will even Vajrayogini practitioners say, I met Vajrayogini. You have to be careful with stuff like that. Kelem baso.
So if you're trying to tell yourself that, you need to be careful what you say.
Well, yeah, right. Ni shenda le che kepa de pape che. This pakpa means, normally pakpa means Arya, but the literal meaning of Arya is superior, higher. Okay, the literal meaning, pakpa is a verb that means to be elevated. And the classic example is in the description of the Zambu tree, which pakpa is above the land. It rises high above the ground. You'll see the verb used there. So it doesn't always mean Arya. Here it just means higher. And Kepa de Papa means a lot higher. Che Kepa de Papa means a lot and a lot higher. Okay. Than other people. Okay? This che means qualities, personal qualities. Okay? I have certain spiritual qualities that are far superior to yours. Okay? Okay? Me shindu.
When you don't.
Yeah,
while you
even
don't.
as you don't have them, you mawa that you yupa.
They say that you do.
Yeah, okay. Even though you don't have them, you say that you do. That's a lie. In the one day vows.
Right.
Okay? In the one day vows. And in the tsawashi, it has to be about your spiritual attainments. Okay. I talked to Yamantaka this morning. You know, and I know you're not as spiritual as me, but you know, like that, that kind of thing.
Does the beginning of this say that with the intention to deceive somebody?
Yeah, it goes all the way back to here. No, with the intention to lie.
Yeah.
By the way, that means you know you're lying.
Right.
And some people, they eat a drug and they see something and they say, I met Vajrayogini.
Right.
Technically, they don't break this vow completely. They think they saw Vajrayogini.
Right.
If you believe it, you don't break this vow.
Right.
Okay? If you believe it, you don't break this vow. If you really think you met Vajrayogini because you had a beer or something, then you don't, technically you don't fully break the vow. Because this means intention to lie. You have to know it's a lie, you have to want to lie. Okay? You have to know it's not true. If you think it's true and you say it, you don't completely break this vow. Okay?
So if
It's
you think you saw
inter-
emptiness directly, and it's
Yeah, and that's very common. I meet people all the time. They say, I saw emptiness directly. Something happened to me. I got this warm feeling in my stomach. And no, I've heard countless things like that. And, you know, they believe. People believe. You know. So they don't lie completely.
In this vow, if the person doesn't believe you,
Who?
Oh, that's a good
Does
I
question.
have to believe it. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say, does it?
It doesn't. In some of them it does.
Yeah.
In some of it does. They call tartu.
They have to understand.
The nail down, yeah.
Mercifully, we've heard it so many times.
Okay, we're over time. We gotta get to class.
What time does class start?
It starts in 14 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's get what the.
Actually lied to a dog who can't understand you.
That's what I
That's
was
breaking.
No, to be honest, you probably could add that qualifier that the other person has to comprehend what you're saying.
That's what all you have to do is say
Right, you can't lie to the wall.
and then
Yeah, sometimes vowels like this will have qualifiers that the other person has to understand. If you tell somebody in Chinese, if you confess in Chinese to someone who doesn't understand Chinese, you don't get quite all the power of confession. Okay.
三十
Cookie to see me talk down. Rira Ming Shi Yin De Yen Ba Di. Sanye Xing Du Mi Te Uar Di. Jokun Nam Dak Shin Ma Chu Par Sho. Inang Guru Ratna Mandala Kaunyata Yami.
给我
Ni Ewo Kun. Sanam Yeshe Tsok Tsok Shing. Sanam Yeshe Le Chung Wei. Tambar Kuni Tobar Sho. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Wow, yeah, cool stuff.